shift focus to the media space. We have City Cable Network, the CEO, Mr. V.D. Wadhwa, joining in to talk about the recent tariff notifications which resulted in a 27.5% tariff ceiling hike and what it could possibly mean for cable companies such as City Cable. Mr. Wadhwa, hi, thanks very much for joining in. So that would be my first question to you. This basically notified inflation-linked hike of 27.5% in tariff ceilings. It's supposed to be negative for DTH as well as cable operating companies, but positive for broadcasters. Can you just explain to us what the value chain would look like and why it would be negative for a company such as yours and the impact that we could see on your P&L?
See, first of all, I would like to clarify, I think this is a myth that it's going to be negative. I don't think it's going to be negative because this is basically in the analog area, and in analog area, most of the MSOs and the DTH players, it's actually not the DTH, it's only the MSOs, they are on a fixed fee deal basis. So TRAI has suggested that you should increase the consumer tariff so the consumer can start paying more. So once the consumers start paying more as per the revenue sharing formula suggested by TRAI, then obviously LCO will gain more, MSO will gain more, and the broadcasters will also gain more. But in terms of the content cost, whatever the deals are there, like I can talk about City Cable, that most of our deals are on fixed fee basis. So the cost of the content is not going to go up. As and when it will come up for renewal, it will go up. But you are passing on that cost to the consumers. So on a net basis, I think everybody is going to gain more. But in the value chain, broadcaster will gain the more and the LCO will gain more. MSO will also gain more. I don't think MSO on a net basis will be losing money in this. Okay. I think it's a welcome step.
What is the downside risk to this, Mr. Wadhwa? Is there a fear that maybe you could lose consumers simply because of a higher tariff? Would that be the worst case scenario that would pan out?
To some extent, yes. But other than that, actually what is happening is, if you see that when everybody is watching a movie, is paying 300 plus for watching a 3 hours movie, and today both DTH and MSOs are providing almost close to 300 channels 24/7 sitting at home and charging hardly 250 rupee per month. So I think this kind of increase can easily be absorbed so long as MSOs and DTH players are giving better quality service to the consumer, better content availability to the consumer. I don't see a major risk on this issue at all. On the contrary, I would say that the consumer ARPU, which has not gone up in the last 15 to 20 years, will start seeing the upside. And this is happening only in the analog regime, and as you know, there is a compulsory digitization by December 14. So wherever the people are running analog signal, by December 14, it has to migrate to a digital environment in any case. So it is whatever the sensitivity is there, it is only for the next 9 months we are talking at the best.
So Mr. Wadhwa, what's the target for your subscriber addition in that case, in terms of your business angle? What's your current subscriber base, and have you set any target for the next financial year?
Yeah, as I shared already, that we have already crossed about 4 million marks by end of 31st March. This is in phase 1 and 2, and little bit is going into phase 3 as well. So we have targeted ourselves the minimum subscriber base of about 10 million digital subscriber by the time we close the next fiscal year. So by 31st March 15, we are planning to cross 10 million mark.
Okay. Mr. Wadhwa, what about value-added services? How much are you possibly making in terms of value-added services with your customers, and would that be the next leg of growth that City Cable could see?
Value-added services, we have already started in eastern part where we are in the leadership position about 2 years back. We are currently having about 40,000 broadband subscribers in the eastern part. In the north, we will be launching the broadband in the current quarter, and we are targeting about 50,000 subscribers in the first year of operation. But our focus is largely that wherever we have the direct points, because right now, as you know, that most of our business is through the LCO and through the distribution system. And we do not, City Cables by and large do not have a primary point basis. But I believe if we simultaneously acquire the direct points and then keep on doing the value-added services, that will be a fantastic business proposition from the profitability point of view. But we are open to both the formats, going through the LCO model as well as the direct model. And you will see that by that time we will close the first quarter, we would have launched the broadband in the Delhi market as well. And that is what we are planning to roll out to the rest of the locations.
Mr. Wadhwa, what's happening in terms of promoter funding into the company? What's the game plan over there, and is there any particular level that the promoters are looking at in terms of hiking their stake?
See, this total requirement for the funds for phase 3 and 4 of digitization, we have estimated roughly about 1100 to 1200 crore is the total gross level requirement, and net of activation probably total funding would be about between 600 to 700 crore will be the net funds required. So promoters would have recently put in about 243 crore rupees towards the warrant funding, and they have put in this money at the rate of 20 rupee, which is the market rate currently. And this will be good enough for us to take us through for the next 2 quarters at least. And simultaneously, we are trying to line up either through some strategic investment or through some debt funding further, because our preference is not to go for the further debt funding. So by the time we close the second quarter, we should be able to line up the remaining funds also, which is to the tune of 300 to 400 crore. Because after this warrant funding, the promoter funding in the business has gone up to 72%.
Okay.
So that shows that their faith in the business.
What are the strategic options that you'd be considering?
A is bringing some strategic partner into the business, because there has been a lot of interest by the pure investors community is showing a lot of interest in taking the financial stake, and at the same time there have been some interest have been shown by some of the overseas investors, those who are into this business itself, to take a strategic make a strategic investment in this business and grow it together.
Okay.
But right now we don't believe that from the market valuation point of view this is the right stage right now to sell your equity cheap. So that's why we would like to put our own money, grow the business to a next level before we start talking to the next in further investment place.
Sure. Mr. Wadhwa, just one last question from my side. How is the digitization process coming about for City Cable? Currently, what would your total market share be, and are you losing any amount of market share, or maybe customers who are now switching to analog instead of switching to digital cable, they're just going for DTH options? So is there any sort of loss in market share or incremental loss in market share on account of that?
I'll give, I think there are multiple questions. So first of all, I'll say that because of the digitization, the market has not shifted towards the DTH. In fact, contrary to the belief that DTH will gain the maximum share, it has not happened, at least in phase 1 and 2. And I expect phase 3 and 4 probably DTH will gain a little bit more compared to phase 1 and 2. But so far the digitization has not shifted the market share to the DTH industry, number 1. Number 2, from the City Cable point of view, our market share was roughly 40% into the phase 1 and 2 market, with the total 10 million subscriber base, and since we have already achieved 4 million marks in the digitization, so I can safely say that we are holding on to our market share. Neither we have been able to gain nor we have lost, because mainly in the phase 1 and 2, because we were largely strong in phase 1 and 2, we have converted our analog into the digital market, so we have been able to maintain the market share. Phase 3 and 4 are the areas where if we go up to 10 million, then we will be maintaining our market share. The moment we will go beyond 10 million, then we are gaining market share in the overall industry. Now, talking about the last point, which is the digitization, how it is doing well for City Cable, I feel proud to say that City Cable, I would say, is among all the MSOs, we are the only company who is taking the maximum benefit of digitization, because we have invested heavily into the back-end software infrastructure and the entire processes. And today, while others are struggling to do a gross billing and to improve their collections, we can say that in all the phase 1 market in Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta, we have already gone ahead with the gross billing successfully. We have already started collecting the money, and City Cable collections are at least 25 to 30 rupee per subscriber higher than any other MSO in the market, as has been confirmed by McKinsey also while doing the audit of Delhi market. So we are pretty happy with our progress so far.
Okay. Fair enough. Mr. Wadhwa, thanks very much for joining in. So that's the view coming in from City Cable, that they have been quite successful in terms of the digitization process, and that the hike of 27.5% should not impact them too much. In fact, it could possibly just be a pass-through. But for the stock, it's holding up with a gain of around 3% and for the markets, we are down around 0.3%.